Yes, hope you understood now. My question is determine the Hilbert transform of cos of 2 pi fct. Yes, hope people are doing. Just I will write the answer of this. So it will be 1 minus cos pi t divided by pi t. I said the next example is said find Hilbert transform of cos of 2 pi fct. Yes, hope people are solving. Yes, how do you start? So your input signal is g of t, right? Which is equal to what? Cos 2 pi fct, isn't it? So yeah. So g of t, so your g of t is what? Cos 2 pi fct. Okay, and you are passing through this Hilbert transformer. You need to find out what is g hat of t. As I said, your g of t is cos 2 pi fct. Yes, in simple words, as I said, Hilbert transform provides minus 90-degree phase shift, okay, for the positive frequency of the input signal. So in one line, you can say cosine of 2 pi fct minus 5 by 2 is nothing but sine of 2 pi fct. Okay, so that is the simplest way to say. But if it is asked for 6 marks, so you need to prove how you are getting the sine 2 pi fct. So just writing one line will not make you to get 6 marks. Hope you're understanding now what I mean.
Yes, sir.
Uh, so you have to begin with what? You write what is g hat of t. That is, yes, any one of you can say what I can write the expression for g hat of t in time domain quickly. See what is g hat of t? It is a convolution of this input signal g of t and the impulse response of the Hilbert transform. If I say the impulse response of the Hilbert transform as what? Hht of t, right? Then it will be what? G of t is convolved with hht of t. Okay. So in frequency domain, I can write as what? G cap of f, right? Which is equal to, yes, this I think I expect you to tell any one of you. So convolution of two signals in time domain will be equal to what?
G of f into HHT of f.
Yeah, G of f into capital HHT of f. So multiplication of the Fourier transform in the frequency domain. Okay, so G cap of f is equal to G of f into HHT of f, right? Yeah, now I know already what is HHT of f, right? What is the Fourier transform of the impulse response of the Hilbert transform? And I can find out what is G of f. That is by taking Fourier transform of G of t, right? That is the Fourier transform of cos 2 pi fct you should know. Then multiply those two signals, at least graphically you will get some answer. Then you should be able to say how it can be represented mathematically. Is it fine? This much idea? Will you continue and do it? Yes, I will give 2 minutes or 5 minutes time. I expect you to say the answer for at least the Fourier transform of cos 2 pi fct, then other things. Yes, Girish, is it possible to say what is the Fourier transform of cos 2 pi fct? Girish.
Sir, doing, sir.
Doing a lie, by this time you should be able to tell us. Last semester, 100 times and 1000 times we have discussed it, alva. Fourier transform of cosine of 2 pi fct another. Yeah, what about Abhishek Reddy? Abhishek Reddy
Yes,
is there?
sir.
Can you tell what is the Fourier transform of cos 2 pi fct, man?
Sir, ಮಾಡ್ತಾ ಇದೀನಿ ಸರ್.
ಮಾಡ್ತಾ ಇದೀಯಾ? ಸೊ ಇಷ್ಟು ಮಾಡಿದ್ರೆ ನಿನಗೆ ಎಷ್ಟು 6 ತಾಸು ಕೊಡ್ತಾನೆ ಎಕ್ಸಾಮು? ಇಲ್ಲ ತಾನೆ 3 ತಾಸು ಅಲ್ವಾ? The Fourier transform of cosine of 2 by FCT should be there in your tip of the tongue. ಅದನ್ನೆಲ್ಲ ಮಾಡ್ಕೊಂಡ್ರೆ ಕುತ್ಕೊಳಕ್ಕಾಗಲ್ಲ at this stage 6th semester ಅಲ್ಲಿ.
So,
What about
so is it 1 by 2 del of f minus fc plus del of f plus fc?
Yeah, why you are telling in doubt? You should tell with confidence, man. So cos 2 pi fct, its Fourier transform will be what? Cos of 2 pi fct. No, cos of 2 pi fct, its Fourier transform will be what? 1 by 2, okay, del of f plus fc plus del of f minus fc. So the basic things you should know. Okay. Fine. So how do I represent this graphically? Means basically I need to represent two impulse functions. One is at fc, another one is at minus fc, right? With a magnitude of 1 by 2, right? Yes or no?
Yes, sir.
So I can write graphically. So if this is my f, okay, and if I here, so if I take this is what a g of f, na? G of f. So I have two impulse functions. One is at fc, right? Another one is at minus fc, right? Having a magnitude of 1 by 2. So this is what 1 by 2 del of f minus fc, del of f minus fc, and this one is what 1 by 2 del of f plus fc. So this is the Fourier transform of cosine of 2 pi fct. So which is g of f in my case, right? Yeah. Then as I said already, we know what is the Fourier transform of the impulse response of the Hilbert transform. At least any one of you can say what it is.
Minus j sinum of f.
Yeah, that is mathematically we are expressing. Graphically,
The
so
magnitude.
ht of f.
1, sir.
ht of f. 1, not the magnitude, man. See, the Fourier transform
Minus
of
j,
j for
f greater than 0.
no.
Oh, f less than 0, sir.
Yeah, for f less than 0, it is j. Okay. And it is minus j for f greater than 0. Okay, so this is the Fourier transform of the impulse response of the Hilbert transform. Okay, now the multiplication of these two yields what? So that is what, na? our equation is G cap of F we get, right? G cap of F is equal to G of F into HST of F. That is what I have written. Oh, clear now here. So G cap of F is equal to G of F into HST of F. So I wrote what is G of F and what is HST of F. If we multiply these two, what I get? I get G cap of F, right? So can we do that? Hope noted, na?
Yes, sir.
So G cap of F see why I am writing first graphically is it becomes easy for people to understand. Then yes, taking inverse Fourier transform and representing it in a standard form will become easy. Okay. So what I said I wanted to write G cap of F, right? So G cap of F is what? G of F into HST of F. So yes, what can I write at FC and minus FC? Yes, why you can't tell what we get? Just multiply. So these two things are there. So I have two impulse functions, right? That is for cosine. One is at FC, another one is at minus FC. What is that? With a magnitude of 1 by 2 del of F minus FC. Another one is at minus FC, 1 by 2 del of F plus FC. If I multiply this G of F with HST of F, what I get?
Sir, 2 impulse you will get, sir.
Yeah, two impulse will get with what magnitude?
J by 2 delta F plus FC and minus J by 2 delta F minus FC.
Yeah, right. At minus FC, I say it is J by 2 del of F plus FC, and at plus FC, what I get? Minus J by 2 del of F minus FC. That's all. Just multiplication of these two. Here the value is J, right, for F less than 0, and value is minus J for F greater than 0. So with that, hope it is clear for others. Okay. So what I can write at minus FC, I can write one impulse function, right? With what magnitude? It is J by 2 into del of F plus FC. J by 2 into del of F plus FC. Okay. At FC. Okay. At FC, it will be what? Minus J by 2, right? So that is why I will be writing an impulse function downward. That is minus J by 2 into del of F minus FC. Just hope it is clear. Just I multiplied those two, right? So now its magnitude has become J by 2 into del of F plus FC. Another one is minus J by 2 into del of F minus FC. So I can rewrite this, okay, for my convenience, so that I will be able to express in standard form this G cap of F. So what I do is just I can rewrite without changing its meaning. G cap of F is equal to, so one is at FC and another one is at minus FC, right? So what I can say is, now I can write this J by 2 del of F plus FC as minus 1 by 2j, okay, del of f plus fc, del of f plus fc. And this one I can write with positive magnitude as 1 by 2j del of f minus fc. Okay, anyone can say why I have written like this? Is it correct what I am writing? Or do you have any doubts? Yes, people should respond. Yes, is it fine? I have understood why I wrote like this.
No, sir.
No.
J
What I
can
can
be written as minus 1 by j.
Yeah. So that is the catchy point. Right. Hope understood what Prajwal has said, Noreen?
Yes.
Yeah, J can be written as. Yes, what he said, Prajwal?
So j can be written as minus 1 by j.
Okay, so I just applied that common basic this one. Why I wrote like this? Any idea? Is it possible to guess why I wrote like this? See, looking at this, you should be able to say it is the Fourier transform of sine of 2 pi fct. Okay, the Fourier transform of sine of 2 pi fct will be like this. Right? So two impulse functions, one is at plus fc, another at minus fc. So I get at minus fc, it is minus 1 by 2z. Okay, so now let me write mathematically and say how can we what I can say is just I am expressing this g cap of f is equal to what? See 1 by 2j, right? 1 by 2j del of f minus fc, right? Minus 1 by 2j into del of f plus fc. Or you can take 1 by 2j, flower bracket you can write del of f minus fc minus del of f plus fc also you can write. Okay, nothing wrong. So now I want g cap of t, right? So to get g cap of t, what I need to do? Is what I
Inverse
need to
Fourier
do.
transform.
Huh?
Inverse Fourier transform.
You have to take inverse Fourier transform, right? So take I of t. So if I take inverse Fourier transform to the above equation, then I will be able to say what is g cap of t, right? So I will write, I don't know how many will be able to say 1 by 2j I am writing. What is the inverse Fourier transform of del of f minus fc? Inverse Fourier transform. So it takes time, I think, right? You always think you have to go with that integral equation, substitute and come back. Okay, of course, if you know what is Fourier transform of e power j 2 pi fct into dt, it is easy to convince. It's a shifted version of delta function, right? So it will be what? E power j 2 pi fct. E power j 2 pi fct is the inverse Fourier transform of del of f minus fc. In the same way, I can write for another term also. Minus 1 by 2j. For this, it will be what? E power minus j 2 pi fct. Minus j 2 pi fct. Okay. So understood now? So now I can write this as what? So I can write e power j 2 pi fct, right? E power j 2 pi fct minus e power minus j 2 pi fct divided by 2j. right? It is nothing but what?
Sine
Sine
2
of
pi
2 pi
FCT.
FCT. Sine of 2 pi FCT. So if they ask for 6 marks, you are supposed to do this one. Okay, to find the Hilbert transform of cosine of 2 pi FCT. Not just writing cos of 2 pi FCT minus pi by 2 is equal to sine 2 pi FCT. If you read that much, you may not get 6 marks. Okay, so you people can take up one assignment and you can do it in home. Okay. 1 or 2 problems I will give because I will not be able to solve all. So take up this and try to solve it in home. I expect you people to submit in the GCR, okay, by tomorrow. Okay, this is a homework, what I can say. Rather than assignment, I can say homework. Okay, first one is find the Hilbert transform of triangular pulse. Find the Hilbert transform of triangular pulse. So I told for square pulse, right? That is rectangular pulse. Now I am asking for you to do it for triangular pulse. Find the Hilbert transform. Okay. Find the Hilbert transform of triangular pulse. Triangular pulse. So the triangular pulse, I hope you all know how to write. Triangular pulse. Right? So I will just give that idea also. This is time, but I can say this is 0, it exists over 1 to minus 1, okay, with a magnitude of 1. So this is my triangular pulse. So I can say this is Tri of t. Okay. So even I will say how do we express this mathematically. So I think further you should be able to do. Hope you will be able to express this mathematically. Yes, what can you write? So this is a graphical representation, right? How do you express this in the form of simple mathematics? The idea? Yes, Tri of t is equal to what I can write? So this is having what slope? Yes, anyone can say? So these are the two things now which you are able to say this is with what slope and this is with what slope. Yes, cannot tell. It is with what slope? It is increasing or decreasing? You start from this point. It is increasing, no? It is with a slope of positive 1. Okay, here slope is plus 1 and here it is decreasing, right, from 0 to 1. So this is having a slope with minus 1. Okay, slope is here minus 1 and here slope is plus 1. Slope is plus 1. Okay, so with that, what I can write is, so it will be, what I will do. So I will write here. Tri of t will be equal to, what I can say, it is t plus 1. Okay, it will be what? T plus 1 for what interval? When t is less than or equal to 0 and greater than minus 1. Okay, that is from minus 1 to 0, it is t plus 1. Okay, and it is minus t plus 1 and it is minus t plus 1 when t is less than or equal to 1 and greater than 0. Greater than 0. So at other places it will be 0. Otherwise it is 0. So this is how we can represent this triangular pulse. So I've given this much of it. Just use your basics of maths and you can be able to find out. So this is one thing. And second one is just take another example. Is yeah. Second one is determine the Hilbert transform of the signal determine the Hilbert transform of signal so g of t is equal to 2 into sinc of 2t. I've already done for sinc of t, sinc function. So just I've added magnitude as 2 and even it is time this one scaled by a factor of 2. Okay. So these two things you just solve in home and try to upload in the GCR today itself. Okay. So now we'll try to discuss about the properties of Hilbert transform. Let's hope noted, na?
Yes, sir.
Okay. So now let us try to discuss the properties of Hilbert transform. Properties of Hilbert transform. Okay, so we discussed 3 properties. It may be having many, so which are relevant to us. The first one is a signal g of t and its Hilbert transform g at of t have the same magnitude spectrum. I repeat once again, a signal g of t and its Hilbert transform G at of t have the same magnitude spectrum. Means what? The magnitude spectrum of G of t and its Hilbert transform G at of t will be the same. So I can write magnitude spectrum. So I write in frequency domain. So G of f. Okay. So this is the magnitude spectrum, right? So which is equal to what? The magnitude spectrum of its Hilbert transform. That is G cap of f. G cap of f. This is the first property what I can say. Hope I conveyed. The magnitude spectrum of the signal G of t and its Hilbert transform G at of t will be the same. Okay. The second property is if G at of t, right, is the Hilbert transform of G of t, right, then if I take once again the Hilbert transform, then there will be a sign reversal. Means if I take the Hilbert transform of a signal twice, okay, then there will be a sign reversal in the signal. That is what I wanted to say is G. I said that if I take the Hilbert transform twice, okay, G double cap of t, okay, will be equal to what? Minus G of t. So once I take the Hilbert transform, it gets a 90-degree phase shift, right? If I take twice, it gets 180-degree phase shift. Then I can say there will be a sign reversal in the signal. So this is the third property. And second property. So third one is so the signal G of t and its Hilbert transform G at of t are orthogonal to each other. Because why I say this point, the signal G of t and the G at of t are orthogonal to each other. Yes, anyone can say guess? I said the signal G of t and its Hilbert transform G at of t are orthogonal over the entire time interval. So that the time interval may exist from minus infinity to plus infinity. Because we know if I take G of t is cos signal, right? And G at of t is what? Sin 2 pi f ct. So cos and sin, if I multiply, right, their product will be 0. Yes or no? Hence we say they are orthogonal to each other. Yes, is it clear? Yes, I am asking you people, is it clear?
Yes, sir.
So third property is the orthogonal property. Okay, I say integral from minus into infinity G of t, okay, into G at of t to dt will be equal to 0. So this we say the signal G of t and its Hilbert transform will be orthogonal over the entire time interval. So these are the three important properties of the Hilbert transform. First one is what? The magnitude spectrum of the signal G of t and its Hilbert transform are same. Okay. The second property is what? If I take the Hilbert transform of a signal twice, then there will be a sign change in the sign of the signal. Right. The third property is the signal G of t and its Hilbert transform G at of t are orthogonal over the entire time interval. Okay, that is from minus infinity to infinity. So these are some three important properties of the Hilbert transform. Yes, of course, we make use of these properties whenever is required. So that is why I am saying what are the properties of the Hilbert transform. Okay. So the next concept is the tree envelope. Is any questions to be asked as far as what we have discussed so far? Yes, if you have any questions, you can ask. Yes, no questions? Yes, I'm asking you people only. You don't have any questions?
No, sir.
Hmm?
No, sir.
No. Yeah, we will come back to the practical, means how we apply all these concepts to our communication system design. Okay, I will come to that. But at the beginning, I need to deal as good as mathematics only, right? So you may feel that, okay, it's full of mathematics. Yes, that is true. But when we take up a communication system, as I said, the Hilbert transform is used for band pass signal representation, right? So during that time, you will understand the importance and impact of this Hilbert transform. Okay, how does it simplifies the representation of band pass signal in terms of its equivalent complex low pass signal. Okay, so till that, at least you should be able to grasp what is Hilbert transform. Okay, and what are its properties. Fine? Is it fine? I think everybody is sleeping in the morning.
Yes, sir. Fine, sir.
Okay. Okay, man. Fine. Thank you. Okay, just to give more insight into this, whatever the properties I said, so you can just add one more line to this. As I said, g of t to dt over the interval from minus into infinity, it is 0, right? Means just if you write this much only just in one line, you may not get proper marks. No? Just what you are supposed to do is how we can prove this. Anybody aware of what is Parseval's theorem, the Fourier transform? Is it possible to recall from any one of you? Parseval's theorem of the Fourier transform. Yes? Yes, anyone, is it possible to recall what is Parseval's theorem? No. ನೀವೇ ಹೇಳ್ಬಿಡಿ ಸರ್ ಅಂತೀರಾ ಯಾವ ಥಿಯರಮ್ ಇದ್ರು ನೀವೇ ಹೇಳ್ಕೊಳ್ಳಿ ಬರ್ಕೊಳ್ಳಿ Yes, using Parseval's theorem of the Fourier transform, I think I can write this integral from minus infinity to infinity g of t into g at of t into dt, okay, as an integral from minus infinity to infinity g of f, means I am writing the Fourier transform of g of t, okay, g of f into the Fourier transform of g at of t is what? It is minus j sin m of f, right? Minus j sin m of f into g of f. I am correct, right? So its complex conjugate we write complex into df. Okay. So this can be expanded further by splitting the limits, that is from minus infinity to 0, and another one is from 0 to infinity. So I can write as minus j integral from minus infinity to 0 g of f, Okay, its magnitude square into df, okay, plus j into integral from 0 to infinity, then g of f, its magnitude square into df. So with this, what can I say? Means how do I say their product will be equal to 0 over the entire time interval? Means it is 0, right? Can I write is equal to 0? Now, I think you should be able to say this with respect to this orthogonality of the signal g of t and its Hilbert transform g hat of t. Okay. So this is for third property. In the same way, you can say how we say it is g double cap of t is equal to minus g of t. As I said, applying the Hilbert transform operation to the signal twice causes the sign reversal of the signal, right? I said that g double cap of t is equal to minus g of t, right? You can write that in terms of Fourier transform. Okay, so just I will show how it can be written. Hope noted now this third property expansion. So as far as
Can you please scroll up?
yeah, just I expanded by using Percival's theorem. Okay. In frequency domain, I wrote it is a complex conjugate of that. So I splitted the limits and then I'm saying it is 0.
Okay.
So to say the second property, that is applying the Hilbert transform operation to the signal twice causes the sign reversal of the signal, right? So just I will say for that also in one line. For the second property, what I said, g double cap of t will be equal to minus g of t, right? So by taking Fourier transform of this, okay? How do I prove this? Is taking Fourier transform of this, that is g double cap of t. What I get? What is the Fourier transform of this? That is minus j sin m of f. Okay, is twice, right? Into g of f I can write. Okay, so which is equal to, yes, can I write is equal to minus g of f? So this is how we prove the second property, that is taking Hilbert transform twice to a signal leads to sign reversal of the signal. They ask you to prove that, this is what the proof is. Take Fourier transform, write it, and then we can say what is that. The same way we can do for first one also. How do we say its magnitude is same? And that is the signal and as well as its Hilbert transform. So to prove the first theorem, that is first property, as I said, the magnitude of g of t and its Hilbert transform is same, right? So it is nothing but what I can say, the energy content of the signal is equal to the energy content of its Hilbert transform. So like this we can define. Okay. The proof of first this one. Okay, first property. What I said, the energy content of a signal is equal to the energy content of its Hilbert transform. Please have a note of this, because these statements you need to write. The energy content of a signal is equal to the energy content of its Hilbert transform. So how do we prove that is, so we prove the property of one by using Rayleigh's theorem. Okay. So for the third property, I used Percival's theorem. For the first property, I will be using the Rayleigh's theorem of the Fourier transform. Okay. So proof of property 1, I do by, I'm using Rayleigh's theorem. Okay. Have you heard about this name? Rayleigh's theorem? Yes? Somebody can say yes or no. They're all very basic, important things which you are all supposed to understand for understanding energy of a signal. We use the Rayleigh's theorem. Okay, Rayleigh's theorem of the Fourier transform. Rayleigh's theorem of Fourier transform. So what that Rayleigh's theorem says is, means if I have the energy of the signal, I hope you all able to say how do we define the energy of a signal? Anyone can say how do we define the energy of a signal? So here I have denoted E suffix G, just to indicate it is the energy of the signal. Yes, how do we define energy of a signal? It is from, yes, can I expect answer from anybody? Energy of a signal. So integral from minus to infinity, okay? So G of t, okay, mod square into dt is the definition of the energy of the signal. Okay, in frequency domain, I can write integral from minus to infinity, okay, G of f, this square into df. Okay, so this is the definition of energy of the signal. Energy of the signal G of t. Okay, in the same way I can write the energy of the signal for the Hilbert transform of the signal G of t. That is, I can write energy of, so this G cap indicates energy of the Hilbert transform of the signal. Okay, so which is equal to, I can write integral from minus infinity to infinity. Okay, just replace G by G hat of t. G hat of t square into dt. Okay, so we know what is the Fourier transform of G hat of t, right? So which is equal to what? Integral from minus to infinity, that is minus j sin m of f, minus j sin m of f into G of f, right? That is the this one, right? Fourier transform of G cap of f square into df. See, I am not writing any new equation. It's already known facts only I am writing here, right? And we all know the mod of what I can say, we know that the mod of minus j sin m of f, okay, the square will be equal to what? 1. Right? So with respect to that, what I can say? Yes, can I say Therefore, mod of G of f will be equal to mod of G cap of f. Is this fine? No response. I'm asking, is that fine? Just what I wrote the expression for energy of the signal. Okay, then I wrote the energy of the Hilbert transform of the signal. Okay, just I substituted the value of G cap of f. I'm saying minus J sin m of f, the square will be equal to 1. With respect to that, what I can say, G of f, the magnitude of G of f will be equal to the magnitude of G cap of f. In that sense, we say the magnitude of the signal G of t and its Hilbert transform are same. Okay. Yes, do you have any questions in understanding this? I don't think, so this is just definition of energy of a signal I wrote in time domain, then I wrote what is its equivalent in frequency domain. Then this is the energy of the Hilbert transform of the signal. I replace G by G cap of t. Then I wrote what is the Fourier transform of this G cap of t, right? So I said minus J sin m of f, the square will be equal to 1. So with respect to that, I can say G of f will be equal to G cap of f. Yeah. So next one is, as I said, the pre-envelope. So next concept is pre-envelope. Yeah, do you have any idea about this pre-envelope? Yes, anyone can say what is pre-envelope? Okay, the pre-envelope of a signal G of t is defined as, so this is G plus of t, I'm writing, right? This plus sign indicates for positive frequencies. Okay. So the pre-envelope of a signal G of t is defined as G plus of t is equal to G of t plus J into G cap of t. J into G cap of t. So this is the definition of the pre-envelope of the signal G of t for positive frequencies of the signal G of t. So that is why I am indicating with the sign plus. Okay, this plus sign indicates for positive frequencies. Okay, plus sign indicates for positive frequencies. Positive frequencies. Positive frequencies of the signal G of t. positive frequencies of the signal g of t. So what do you understand from this? Means the pre-envelope of a signal, right, has what? It has two components, right? The pre-envelope of a signal has two components. One is the given signal, that is g of t, so which is the real part of the pre-envelope, and another signal, that is Hilbert transform of the signal g hat of t, and which is imaginary part of the pre-envelope. Hope you're understanding what I'm saying. See, the pre-envelope of a signal g of t is defined as what? G plus of t, which is equal to what? I said g of t plus j into g cap of t. Right? I said this plus sign indicates it is for positive frequencies of the signal g of t. Means I am defining the pre-envelope of a signal g of t for positive frequencies. So I said it has two components. One is what? The real part, right? So this one is the real part, right? It has the real part of the signal is g of t, and the imaginary part is the imaginary part, right? It has the Hilbert transform of the signal g of t. Okay? So pre-envelope has two components. One is the real part of the signal g of t, and another one is what? Imaginary part of the Hilbert transform of the signal g of t. Yes, is it fine?
Yes, sir.
Yes, you should get this idea. Okay, if I ask what is pre-envelope, it should come to your mind that okay, it has a real part and imaginary part. So real part will be what? The original signal g of t, and imaginary part will be the Hilbert transform of the signal g of t. In that way, we define the pre-envelope of the signal, right? And I said this plus sign indicates for positive frequencies. So this is in time domain I written. So it can be written in frequency domain also, right? So in frequency domain, what I can write is, okay. So in frequency domain, so I write g plus of f, right? G plus of f is the Fourier transform of g plus of t. So which is equal to what I can write? G of f, right? G of t, its Fourier transform will be g of f, then plus j. Then what is the Fourier transform of g hat of t? Yes, anyone can say what is the Fourier transform of g hat of t? Yes, Fourier transform of g hat of t is g hat of f. So which is equal to what? That is minus j sinum of f into g of f. Yes or no? Yes, are you all agree with me? Can I write this for g cap of f? Right? So this is my g cap of f, right? That is minus j sinum of f into g of f. Okay. So we all know what is the value of sinum of f, right? So what is the value of sinum of f? How do we define sinum of f? Yeah. Yeah, sinum function. What is the value of sinum function? So it will be equal to 1 for f greater than 0, right? For f greater than 0, it will be 0 at f equal to 0, and it will be minus 1 when f less than 0. Hope you remember this. I think I told in the last class, right? So if you substitute the value of the sinum of f here, and what I can write for g plus of f? Yes, what can I write? G plus of f. I think I expect this from your side only. G plus of f will be equal to what? See, sin m of f value is what? See here, plus into minus, it is minus, right? J into j, it is j square. So j square is what? Minus 1, right? Yes or no? Yes, sir. You people should be able to tell this simple multiplication. See here, plus into minus, it is minus. So j into j is j square. J square is what? Minus 1. So minus 1 into minus is plus 1. What can I write for f greater than 0? The value of g plus of f.
2G of f.
2g of, right? So I can write it is 2 into g of f. Okay. This is for f greater than 0. This understanding should be there. Then, what about at f equal to 0? I say it is just g of 0 I am writing. G of 0 at f equal to 0. So for f less than 0, what can I write? F less than 0, the value of sin of function is minus 1. Right? Just substitute that and say what is the value?
0.
It is 0, right? Yeah. So this is the definition of pre-envelope in frequency domain. I can write g plus of f is equal to 2 into g of f for f greater than 0. At f equal to 0, I get g of 0. And for f less than 0, it is 0 only. Means, looking at this mathematical equation, what is your interpretation? At least for positive frequencies with this sign. So can I say it will be eliminating the negative frequency component of the signal, and it retains only the positive frequency component of the signal with twice the magnitude? Can I interpret like that? Yes, can I interpret like that? The pre-envelope of the signal for positive frequencies, right, will be equal to what? 2 times the Fourier transform of the signal g of t, right? So, looking at this expression, what I can say is it is eliminating, right, or removing the negative frequency component of the original signal, and it retains only the positive frequency component of the signal with twice the magnitude. Okay, so to understand with the graphical representation of the signal, let me give this example. Let me say let me consider my standard signal, that is triangular signal, what we used to consider now. So this is my g of f, I can say, okay, which exists over the frequencies plus w to minus w. Okay, this is my g of f. This is my g of f. Okay, so at f equal to 0, I can call that as g of 0, right? At f equal to 0. Yeah. So what will be its pre-envelope? What can I draw? Yes, you people should be able to say this. G plus of f. Yes? Yes, what I can write here, g plus of f. Well, you can't tell with respect to this. This is my g of f, right? So with a magnitude of 2 times, right? So shall I say this is my magnitude is 2, right? Yes or no? This is w, because it is eliminating the negative frequency component of the original signal g of f, and only it retains the positive frequency component of the signal, right? So this is my
Sir,
g plus of f.
at the origin it's supposed to be equal to g of
Yes, ma.
At the origin it's supposed to be equal to g of 0, no?
At f equal to 0, I said it's g of 0.
So, but you
Okay.
put the amplitude as 2.
No, 2 is the magnitude. Okay. So 2 is the, because it is 2 into g of f, no? So here it was 1, okay? Here the magnitude was 1. Okay, now it has become 2. So this g of 0, I am writing that it is at f equal to 0. I think I will just say, yeah, what I want to say. Here the magnitude is 2, okay? So this is my, at f equal to 0, I say it is g of 0. I wanted to say it is, its magnitude becomes 2. Okay, 2 times the g of f. Is this clear? I don't know, still doubt?
Yes, sir. Yeah.
Is this clear? So now the magnitude has become 2. It becomes twice the g of f. That is I'm indicating there. Okay. Is this fine? The pre-envelope of the signal. Hope you understood what I wanted to say. So the pre-envelope of a signal has two parts. One is real part and imaginary part. How do I interpret that? So real part will be the signal g of t, and imaginary part will be what? The Hilbert transform of the signal g of t. Right? So in frequency domain, I could find out, right, g plus of f will be equal to 2 into g of f for f greater than 0, and it becomes 0 for f less than 0. Means how I interpret here is, I will be, means by finding the pre-envelope of the signal g of t for positive frequencies, I will be able to remove the some portion of the signal. So here that some portion of the signal is the what? Negative frequency component of the signal. Okay, in the same way, you can find out for g minus of f. That is for negative frequencies. Okay, hope you will be able to do that. For negative frequencies, how can I write for negative frequencies? Okay, g plus of t is for positive frequencies. Okay, what I can say, g plus of t is the pre-envelope, is the pre-envelope, is the pre-envelope for positive frequencies. For positive frequencies. In the same way, we can do for negative frequencies also. So I think, I hope we should be able to do this. G minus t. Okay. Similarly, I say, similarly, G minus t. Okay. For negative frequencies. Yeah, how can I define this? G minus t is equal to, yeah, it will be what? G of t, okay, minus j into g cap of t. Okay, g of t minus j into g cap of t. So you write its equivalent in frequency domain and try to say what is g minus of f. And with the same example, you just draw what is g minus of f. Hope we will be able to do that. Okay, I will give 2 minutes time. Please try by yourself. Take the Fourier transform of this, and then you know what is sine of function, right? You substitute that and say what is g minus of f. Yes, hope people are doing it. Yes, Ananta.
Yes, sir. Doing.
Okay. Yes, Chandan. Chandan.
Yes, sir.
Are you doing, man?
Yes, sir. Martha, yes, sir.
Then Danda Ram Sai Kiran.
Yes, sir.
What about Danish?
Yes, sir.
Danish. Are you there with me? Okay. Kanaprati Bhargav. Hey, Bhargav.
Sir.
Leah.
Yes, sir.
Okay. Are you doing? Are you able to understand what I'm saying?
Yes, sir.
Sir,
Manoj.
it is 0 for positive frequencies, G of
Yeah.
0 for 0 and 2 times G of F for negative frequency.
Yeah, exactly. Could you draw the diagram?
Yes, sir.
Okay. Yes, what about others? Yes, Kanda could say. What about others in the same way people are doing it?
Yes, sir.
Okay, so let me write. Sorry. So by taking Fourier transform, what I can write for g minus of t will be g minus of f, right? So which is equal to g of f, right, minus j into for g cap of t, which Fourier transform will be what? Minus j sin m of f into g of f. Okay. So I can write g minus of f will be equal to, it is 0 for f greater than 0. At f equal to 0, it will be g of 0. And it will be 2 times g of f for f less than 0. For f less than 0. So for the given example, for the diagram, I can draw the diagram of g plus of f as okay. So to say it is g minus of f, right? That is for negative frequencies. Its magnitude will be 2. And I can say it is at f equal to 0, it is g of 0, right? And it will be for negative frequencies. This will get minus w. So this is for g minus of f. Okay. So I think you can have a note of this sentence. It is important is to conclude about this pre-envelope. What I wanted to say. So by using pre-envelope concept, hope you are noting. By using pre-envelope concept, it is possible to modify. It is possible to modify the frequency content of a real valued signal G of t. It is possible to modify the frequency content of a real valued signal G of t. Okay.
Frequency content of
Frequency
Okay.
content of a real valued signal G of t. Frequency content of a real valued signal G of t.
Sir, can you scroll sideways, sir? Can we look at the diagram?
Diagram. Yeah. Yes, is it done?
Sir?
Yeah.
Sir, even I have the same doubt which Noreen had. Why is it 2G not, sir, again?
See, magnitude is 2, man. This G of 0 is the value of G of f at f equal to 0. Okay, I think I should not write like that. You are understanding it is 2 into G of 0.
Yes, sir, 2 into G of 0.
Not like this. See, it's magnitude. Let me write this side magnitude. Okay, its value is 2. Okay, its magnitude is 2. At f equal to 0, what I can write is G of 0, no? So let me write, I think this side it is G of 0. To say it is. Okay. To indicate it is at f equal to 0, its value is G of 0. Is it clear?
Sir, here they say 2 into G of F, no, sir?
That is for f less than 0. Yeah, that is for f less than 0, it is 2 into G of f only, no?
Okay, yeah. Okay, sir.
Yeah, this is G of, what is G of f? I wrote right there, right? 2 times G of f for f greater than f less than 0. For f less than 0, that is why. So magnitude is doubled. Okay, the
Yeah,
value
yeah,
of
yeah.
g of f its magnitude is doubled, but the positive frequencies has been eliminated here. Okay.
Yes, sir. Got it, sir.
Uh, yeah, I think next concept is complex envelope. Okay, complex envelope of the band pass signal. I think I will take up that tomorrow. Okay. So still another 20 minutes is there. I think I can finish that.
Sir, we'll do the homework question, sir.
We will do the homework.
Yes, sir.
We will do the homework right now and we will submit.
Yeah, sir. If we can, we'll do it by 10:30.
Yeah, then fine. So what I will do is I will stop sharing this or okay. I think people should be able to show that output here. I will ask randomly some people to present their output. Is that fine? Otherwise, if I keep explaining